All right, guys, welcome to the BullRing Banter Podcast. Man, I didn't even trip over the words this week, so that's good. Episode 0. I'm, tripping over the words in the beginning and calling the place Ararat Speedway. Hopefully this week I'll remember that it's Ararat BullRing. And you are on the BullRing Banter Podcast. I am your host and track promoter, Langley Austin, and I have my beautiful wife, Kimberly Austin, here by my side this week. Not just to fill in. I mean, I gave her a hard time last time. I told her she's just to fill in when I can't get anybody else. But, I mean, she's actually pretty good at this, and she can, read my signals as to what to talk about. So, hopefully we got a good podcast lined up here for you. Kim, it's been about, I don't know, has it been a week since we recorded the last one? Close to it, probably. Just trying to get an intro and trying to get set up on all the streams. But, and got a good following already.
It kind of feels like a year, We went most of this week without power, so I felt like, it's sort of been a while. Man,
I don't even know why you got to bring that up. I mean, I'm over here trying to ramp myself up to talk, good and exciting things, and you start talking about power outages. I know most of the people in our listening audience didn't experience that. They were, further down into a more southern area of Virginia, down around the racetrack, or in North Carolina, and they didn't have to deal with all the ice that we got. I talked to Gary's wife at the track, and she said they didn't really get anything. So good for them, because it was not a very fun week here.
Lucky for them, because here was a catastrophe. Trying to keep 3 kids entertained with no power, no nothing, trying to keep the dogs in order, trying to keep you in order, going stir crazy. It was not a good week.
The BullRing Promotions headquarters was a little dark this week, so
just a tad.
Yeah, well.
But we did have racing on the TV. We did keep up with Volusia. And
a lot of people, they plug their refrigerator and other important items into their generator. Well, not me. I plug in my internet, and I plugged in my TV so that I could watch the races from Florida, all of them, from asphalt to dirt and all in between.
Your important items was taken care of.
Yep.
We had TV, and we had internet. We had a way to charge our cell phones. We were good.
And I had a fan when I went to sleep at night.
And a fan when you went to sleep at night.
It might have been a little cold at times. It really wasn't. I mean, we had propane heat, so it really wasn't cold. But it was good. I mean, as good as, a power outage like that for, 6 days, I think?
Yeah, right at 6 days.
As good as that can be, anyways.
Absolutely.
That was not a lot of fun, and I hope to not do it again anytime soon.
No, but they are calling for snow here in a couple of days. But thank the Lord, it's only supposed to be snow, and usually that ain't too hard on us.
Yeah, I looked, and the track looks like they're going to get some snow out of this too. So
yeah, it looks like it might hit down there a little better than the last that we got.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good luck to all them, dealing with that, and hopefully we don't lose power, and hopefully they don't either. But
absolutely,
had a lot going on. Had been putting out the rules over the last couple of weeks. That kind of hampered me last week. I would have had the rules that we put out today out last week, and I mean, I could have listened to the crybabies, last week instead of this week. But I got to do it this week, anyways. But I got the rules out for all divisions. There's 2 divisions I don't have the rules out for. That is enduro, which, I mean, I don't even know why we really need a rule book much.
Pretty
for that.
Self-explanatory.
And we're gonna have something for the kids. Gonna have the juice box racers out and have for the kids. I know you're excited about that.
I can't tell you how excited I am to have the juice box racers. I went to a race at Providence, the kart track down the road from us a little bit this late last year, and watching the little kids in the juice box racers was the best time. It was the best show of the night, just watching them get so excited.
Yeah, it'll be good to get them involved at Ararat. We I feel like that's what's hurting most short tracks, is just not having enough involvement for the kids. We're also going to do kids bicycle races, which has been a staple for us at Franklin County.
Oh yes.
I kind of wish we could do drag racing. I mean, I think we could.
I've been thinking about that. Spectator drags. Bring your car out onto the track. I want to drive a pack car anyways.
Oh, God, here you go.
It's how many fans are thinking, man, I just love to take my car out on the track one time.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't know if they do it anywhere on dirt. I mean, Maybe we're the first. I don't know. Or maybe they do it other places, and we're just lost and don't know about it. But
maybe it's worth a try.
Spectator drag racing where you go 1-on-1. In street cars, you just the car you drove to the track, you just roll it out there onto the speedway, and you take it out there for a lap. Car versus car. I don't know. It could be exciting. I don't know. I don't know that we'll do that, but man, I'll have to do some research and talk to some people and maybe talk to the insurance guy or something. He may have some thoughts about that I'm out. Or actually, maybe I should ask for forgiveness after it happens.
I don't think we should mention that to the insurance. Yeah, I think we should give it a shot once. Let's see that it goes good, like I think it would.
Yeah, I don't tell my kids this because I don't want them to be this way. But I am more of a ask for forgiveness than permission kind of guy.
Yeah, please don't teach them that.
Yeah, well, I just about did the other day. And I don't remember what it was about, but I just about went on into that. But,
during our power outage, there was a lot that, had a lot of downtime.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But anyways, the rules are out for all divisions. Got all the divisions. We put out the late models, the crate late models, the modifieds. The crate late models will be 604, 602, kind of intermingled, which I think will provide exceptional racing there, given they're on a different right rear tire.
Does that work on dirt?
What's that?
Intermingling the 602, 604s?
To be honest with you, there are There are series and there are tracks who run them all together, you know what I mean?
I know that's something that we had done before, but I didn't know that it was intermingled.
Well, that's big on asphalt. I mean, they got the asphalt's so screwed up. I mean, you have to do that. But I think with Ararat, the bonus in this is to try to have a bigger car count. I think could we have run 604s and 602s? Sure. But we would have probably been, 8 or 10 versus 8 or 10, you know what I mean? Whereas this way, we may not be, 16 to 20, but we may be at 14, fingers crossed, I'm all about having a good car count. Modifieds, we're basically running the Mid-East modified rule set, which I guess is similar or basically the same as like all the other 602 modified tours that there are, out there. I guess they have some pretty standard rules, and we're on that. The Renegade Sportsman Division. Now, that one was an interesting one for me. I guess they kind of marry a couple of different, divisions from over the years, together. These are old. A lot of them are like old Monte Carlos and,
my favorite division.
And then you have kind of like the newer style street stocks and like the sportsman level cars. It's a real interesting mix, which I hope provides some good racing and some good car counts. And I mean, not that I'm putting anybody, on the clock already, there, but I mean, car count's going to matter. I mean, if your division can't draw cars, then your division is not going to exist. So it is very vital that you get your car together and help your buddy get his car together, or go check on him and go make sure he's going to be racing, or she or whatever, because you're going to want to be there. Because if you don't have a car count, I'm going to give you 2 or 3, 4 or 5 races, and then we're going to, make some changes or do something different if it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Call your buddy. Hey, what are you doing tonight? You in the garage? Hey, yeah. I'm going to head out. Let's have a few beers. Let's tighten some bolts.
Yeah, exactly. Get to work, because you need your buddies there, because and that goes for all divisions. I feel solid about the late model division that we have. I feel solid about the modified division we're going to have, and I feel fairly solid about the stock 4 division, which is the front wheel drive division, even though the guys who have SCDRA cars are not very happy tonight. We put the rules out a few hours ago. We're 1:00 in the morning here recording this podcast, just so you know. I mean, that's we basically work around the clock here, and whatever we got to do. I mean, she just came out of the sweatshop. We also own Race 22 and Race 22 Tees. She just was doing some orders that came in online over the last couple of weeks, and getting them sent out and shipped out. all over the country. I know there's one from New Jersey and South Carolina and Virginia and North Carolina, and
Yep.
I mean there's several orders there, and
Also,
you were busy.
Also working on some different looks for the Ararat BullRing apparel.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
want the Suvi shop to bang. I really
Yeah.
want our apparel and stuff to look really good.
Listen, we're going to have great merch. I mean,
Absolutely.
and anything you want, we can customize stuff. I'm getting ready to post up on our Ararat BullRing Facebook page and the website. I'll have a way for you to order a special package of T-shirts and hats and beanies and stuff of your stuff. We'll do your artwork with your car on there and your sponsors on there and that stuff. So we'll have that on there. That's a whole nother leg of this, and I'm not spending all my time promoting that, but
well,
that is
you
another
mentioned
avenue.
the sweatshop, so I had to
100%.
go into it.
100%.
I'm so excited about the merch we're going to have this year.
Well, I'm just glad to know you're so excited about working. So,
Well, that's not exactly it.
I mean, that's what you said. So
we'll have good looking apparel.
But the stock 4 division, front wheel drives. I feel certain that we're going to get some cars in that. I've got several guys from Franklin County kind of leaning toward coming over and racing with us. Not necessarily that they're not going to be running at Franklin County, but that the opportunity is there for them to race, because most of our race dates do not fall on Franklin County Speedway weeks, and that's an asphalt track that we promoted at last year.
And some of our guys had dirt backgrounds.
Sure.
We went to Natural Bridge, and
Yep.
Some of our stock 4 guys, we went up there and handled the scoring for them, and they have the dirt backing. So
Yeah.
we would love to get as many people as we can to support us. Just come and have a good time.
For sure. The Pro 4 division, which is like mini stocks, we put their rules out last week. Got a little bit of pushback because they in the past there, I guess they've had like Pro 4 and Super Stock 4 and Extreme 4 and just all kinds of 4 nonsense. Okay. Well, we're not doing that. You got to find a way to narrow your car down, fit it into this Pro 4 box. I mean, we made some exceptions for the Super Stock 4 cars, and I know some of the guys with Pro 4s are like, "Well, I can't believe you can take this motor and run out here with this." Guys, if it's not competitive, we're gonna fix it. Okay, I mean. Let's see what happens here.
We're going to see it right off the bat.
Get them on the racetrack. We'll figure it out. I promise you. And one thing I promise you guys from Franklin County will tell you is if somebody's dominating, we're going to fix it. Okay? I mean,
absolutely.
We ain't letting if it's a car, if it's a driver thing, well, there ain't a whole lot we can do about it. Okay? We can give them incentives, to try to start further back or whatever, but. When it comes down to the car being the advantage or a rule being the advantage, we fix that in a heartbeat. I ain't scared to change something. I'm going to try not to change rules on you at all. That's the goal. But if I got to change something, we'll change something. So those are 5 of our divisions. The other one being the Crown Vics. That's a new division. I talked to Chris Meeks this evening. He's a guy who raced with me and raced at Ararat. He loves Ararat. He's got his enduro car about ready for down there. Not sure what he's going to do stock 4 wise, if he's going to race in it, but he did tell me, he said, "Man, I've had 3 or 4 or 5 guys reach out about Crown Vics." So he's thinking, and I'm thinking that the Crown Vic division is going to be pretty good, because I've had people messaging me, "Hey, this rule right here, what is this? Other tracks do this." Well, most of the time, if you reach out to me and you can show me where other tracks do things a little bit differently when it comes down to things that we don't know a lot about, or things that are like safety, and they do it this way because it does this better or whatever. 9 times out of 10, you reach out to me and you explain that to me and you show me how that works, and I either see it or I research it with that track or that series or whatever it is. We can accommodate. Okay.
Well, first I want to say Chris Meeks brings a heck of a show anytime he shows up to the racetrack.
Oh yeah.
He's great people, brings great people with him.
Yep.
And as far as the Crown Vic division goes, I am really hoping this division takes off.
Oh, I do too.
I've watched it at numerous places, and I mean the racing is so equal. The cars are so equal, so it actually comes down to the driver and
Yep.
who's got the bigger balls.
Yep. It definitely it's like old school street stocks, but everybody's got the same car.
It's pretty awesome.
It can really be some amazing racing. It's good on asphalt. I've seen it on dirt. It's amazing. They got 100,000 to win race sometime this year. I don't even know when it is. I don't keep up, but
I'm sure we'll be watching it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll either watch it or watch a replay of it. I think she's. I mean, if you can't tell, I think she's tired of watching racing. But, but excited about the Crown Vics. Excited about what they could be. And I'm really thinking that. That division could take off, because I've probably talked to 5 or 6. And of those 5 or 6, only one of them, I believe, is one of the people who's reached out to Chris about cars. Chris owns Meeks Recycling, so he gets different cars. And
they're
and
fairly
stuff.
easy to find, I would say.
Oh, you can jump on Marketplace and find you one. I mean, it just depends on what you want to pay for it. And I believe Mike Fulp's got a handful of cars down there at 311, that he'll sell and make good cars out of. So if you're looking for one, that's a good place to go. And I'm sure there's some places closer to the track, car lots that have got them sitting around, and different people. Crown Vics could be really good. I'm telling you, I don't. We may show up first night and there may only be one. Okay, I mean, or maybe none. I don't know. But I really feel like over the course of this year, they're gonna take off and be a real prime subject for racing there at Ararat. And Ararat, in my opinion, is the perfect racetrack. It's the perfect dirt track from size standpoint. You don't get up enough speed to just destroy things typically. Talking to Chris a little bit earlier he's talking about enduro racing and how, when you come to Franklin County, on asphalt, it's, so fast and tore stuff up so much. And that's not the experience that they have there at Ararat. So I think that's going to play into our favor too, because they'll be able to keep those. But I'm going to put out the enduro rules and the juice box rules this next week or next couple of days probably. And so that way we'll have it out and it'll be out there and everybody will be able to be getting cars ready for that. The first, I'm about to get ahead of myself here. Weather. Let's go through a couple subjects before I get to telling you about the schedule, because I want to kind of tell you about the schedule all at one time. So far, I've had people, hey, how's things going at the racetrack? Well, ain't nothing going on at the racetrack, okay? The weather sucks. I mean, it's not perfect weather for us to be out there working, and that's okay. I try to, I try to plan ahead. My wife does not. She does not. She does not try to plan ahead for nothing. But I try to plan ahead. So when I decided what weekend we were going to open for the season, I said, okay, I got a 90-day runway here. So if I don't get started at the racetrack until 30 days out, well, I got 30 days to do it then. You know what I mean? Which right now we're like 70 days out or something, okay?
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think, and I may be, out thinking myself here. But I mean, if we had a week, it'd be okay. As long as the weather was okay, we'd be okay.
And everything's not going to be perfect racing.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
It's been sitting for a few years, get the place cleaned up, get everything in order, and we'll go from there. We'll get our feet a little dirty and figure out what we're doing, and we'll get going.
Yeah. For sure. So weather kind of holding us back, but it'll be okay. We can't wait to get started, and it's not going to be long. One thing that we're gonna do is in the next few weeks, as the weather starts to break a little bit for us, we're gonna have like a cleanup day or weekend. At the track, invite people out, bring your, weed eaters and, excavating equipment and whatever you've got, shovels and paint rollers and paint brushes. And I want to get the place looking amazing. Like, I'm going to tell you one of the things, like looking through photos. Rebecca Perry, she does a fantastic job with photos there, and she's going to be our photographer this year. But looking through photos, man, them cinder block, I guess, concrete block walls, they're disgusting looking. I mean, they, all, red clayed up, and I'm sure it's going to get that way. But man, I can't stand looking at that.
You do realize we're going to a dirt track,
I do.
right?
Hey,
okay.
Hey, listen, maybe that's something I bring to the table is, figuring out how to, not make it look like it's an old dingy dirt track. You know what I mean?
And at the same time, guys bringing your chainsaws and your equipment or whatever. If you have a girlfriend, a wife, a friend, a daughter, bring them some gloves. I'll be there cleaning.
Concessions, bathrooms.
I'll be there getting things cleaned up and ready.
Yep.
Even if, you don't think she can, she's not the hands-on getting dirty type.
Yeah.
She can come and help me. I'm sure I'll have plenty to do, plenty to clean to get ready.
That's right. So you're going to have one of those shooting for maybe the first weekend-ish in March, which I think is March 1st and 2nd. But, I mean, we're we're like 2 weeks out from that right now, and I don't know if that'll happen. But, so sometime in that neighborhood, that's when we'd like to really start ramping things up and getting things ready at the track. And, we're doing everything we can here, at the home office. We already talked about her being in the sweatshop. She did me a hat tonight. It's like it's one of the Richardson 112 trucker rope hats, which she absolutely hates.
It's like a 1980s trucker hat. It's black with a white rope. It looks like the old Dale Earnhardt hats he used to wear.
Hey, and you just explained why it's so freaking awesome right there.
All right.
Like Dale Earnhardt.
You just won that one.
3 for Dale, baby. 3 for Dale. But, got a big Ararat BullRing logo, just the text logo on there with the white and the red, and it matches greatly with the white rope. I'm actually wearing it on my head right now. She just pressed it a little while ago. I just wanted to see how it felt and see how it looked. And
it stands out.
Oh,
great.
it does.
I've done a couple T-shirts. I've
Yep.
done a hoodie.
Yep.
I've done a woman's cut shirt, and everything I've done so far, it just stands out. It's so bold.
Well, that's one. I pride myself in my branding, and I think our branding's on point. I think it gets across on Facebook very well on all social media platforms. We're getting ready to fire up the Ararat BullRing TikTok to kind of bring you an inside look at what we're doing at the racetrack. Not so much, here in the office, but there.
Well, maybe people would like to see, in the office or in the sweatshop. Just give them an inside look.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Just an opinion,
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know about all that. But anyway, so that's something we're planning. But let's talk about the schedule. So, schedule's coming out right now, basically. I've got it pulled up here. I've got the page already basically set up.
Spoiler alert.
On the
Here
website.
comes the schedule.
Oh, yep, exactly. But you already know we're opening up Saturday, April 26th. That race will be called the Running of the Bulls, opening night at the Ararat BullRing. Exciting night of, got late models, modifieds, Pro 4, Stock 4s, and the Crown Vics that night. The Renegade Sportsmans don't start that week, but they'll start the following race. And the following race after that, so race number 2 is Saturday, May 10th. It's the Battle of the BullRing. As you can tell, I'm like really hyped up on the bull theme here. No BS. Yeah. So, but May 10th will be the second race of the season, and I've got a lot of stuff to add to all these events. Some of the things I'm thinking about. So, like the first race, I'm thinking about giving away like can koozies to the first 200 fans.
I don't like that
I'm gonna
idea.
have you in the sweatshop pressing them out, baby. The Ararat BullRing all over them, and
that's a lot of work.
we did that for the banquet this year for Franklin County.
People loved them. People absolutely went wild.
Yeah, they got drunk at the banquet and didn't leave but one or two. So, that's pretty impressive in itself. But I'm thinking about giving those out. Opening night. I've already got my eyes on some really, really, really badass trophies that I'd like to give out for opening night for the winners. Even thinking about doing some heat race winners trophies. They'll be a little smaller and a little different, but thinking about doing those. I want people to see the trophies and go, man, I got to go win those things, man. I got to take me one home, man, because that's what it's all about. I can pay you $1 million. I'm not, but I could pay you $1 million, and in a few weeks you won't even remember that I paid you $1 million. But in a few years you'll look at that trophy and you go, hey man, I won opening night when they opened the Ararat BullRing back up.
Yeah, that trophy, you're going to see it forever.
Yeah,
100%. When we ran the Turkey Derby at Franklin County, for years, one of our mini stock racers, she's like, I just want that damn trophy. I just want that damn turkey.
Yep. She finally got her one.
She finally did.
Yep. So, but that's one thing, and I may have said this on the first podcast. I don't know, but I'm big on trophies. Like I want trophies to be unique. I want you to remember them. I want you to, like last year, one race we did T-shirts. So that like the race winner, we put a picture of them in victory lane and did some T-shirts. They got other trophies too, but that was one of the things we added to it. And so I like to do things like that. I'm real into that stuff. So especially with the bulls, the BullRing. I'm thinking we're going to have some really epic trophies and merch for that matter. So been working a lot on the merch.
I'm really excited to see the trophies.
Yeah.
Your design.
Yep.
And I can tell that you've been ramped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about it. The third race of the season will be Remembering Heroes Night. That'll be Saturday, May 24th. That is leading into the Memorial Day Monday. I don't have the divisions that will run that night specifically ironed out. I'm not going to give you a list of the divisions on most of the rest of the nights, but Remembering Heroes Night, Saturday, May 24th. And then I'm working with a touring series who wants to come on that Monday. So on Monday, May the 26th, potentially we may have a touring series or two taking center stage on that Monday. We'll see how that pans out. But right now that's a to-be-determined date for the Monday. But Saturday, June the 7th, will be Fan Appreciation Night. I got some pretty cool things planned for it. We'll have to see how things shake out first race or so to where I can know exactly how I can do some of them, because some of them I have to have kind of an understanding of how everything works. But June 7th will be Fan Appreciation Night. Saturday, June 21st, will be the Red Clay Rumble. If you can't tell, I'm like really into race names. I want them to matter. I want you to remember them.
You'll have to leave those walls dirty with red clay that week.
Yeah. I'm not excited about that. There, don't say things like that. And then Friday, July the 4th, so a Friday event on the 4th of July, the Red, White, and Boom. Friday, July 4th. I mean, you can probably figure out what the boom is. Probably have some fireflies in the sky there that sound a little loud, but making some booms.
Sounds like an explosively good time.
Exactly. It'll be a great night. July 4th is always a good time at any racetrack. Great night to race on.
Great night for families to be out.
Oh, 100%. And I think we'll have an epic show. Next race after that will be Saturday, July the 12th. That'll be the Ararat Dirt Nationals. That'll be a special event for maybe all the divisions, but at least one of the divisions
specifically.
Whew, I can't even talk. But the next event after that will be the following week. That'll be Saturday, July 19th, but that will not be a racing-related event. I mean, we may run enduros or something with it. That is a weekend that we are eyeing for a special event, potentially maybe monster trucks.
Now that will be exciting.
Yeah, I don't know that they've ever had them there. So they will be that'll be something special and draw in a whole different crowd of people. And so we'll definitely be looking forward to that.
Bring some new eyes, maybe some new fans.
Yep. Saturday, July 26th, the Commonwealth Dirt Classic. Saturday, August 9th, SummerSlam. I mean, I'm a WWE, WWF, or WCW fan from, the 90s, back when, wrestling was cool.
I'm a WWF fan.
And back when people thought it was real. So really into that. So SummerSlam, August 9th. Saturday, August 23rd will be Battleground, which is another wrestling name. Monday, September the 1st, Labor Day Classic. That'll be a cool one.
Those are always good shows. Labor Day, Memorial Day. Those are always good shows.
Yep, for sure. Saturday, September the 20th, Dirt Track Wars. We're gonna come up with some pretty cool stuff for that. I got some event ideas and some different ways of maybe setting the field for a race through that. And then Saturday, October the 4th, that's our points championship night. I don't have my name picked out for that yet, but and then in November, not sure what week. I really like Thanksgiving weekend, but I also know that they have like a big Thanksgiving race in this region. So I don't know if I'll run it Thanksgiving weekend or if I'll run it a different weekend. But it'll be the BullRing Nationals. Special, season-ending event. Send everybody out of the season with a big one, and everybody can have a lot of fun and cap off what should be a great season.
Keep the momentum up for 2026.
And there's with this that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold on, I did miss counting.
You don't have to take your shoes off. You got 10 fingers.
That's 14 dates. 13 of them points dates And I may have counted the July 19th race by accident. But either way, there's 12 or 13 points races. Points will be, another, conversation. I like to do things differently. I'm not interested in anybody dominating the season and running away with the points and not even needing to be there at the end. So we'll do something a little different. That'll come out later. But got a lot of events, man. I'm excited about that schedule and those events. And I got some other things too. And I got another potential Friday night event, working with a touring series. Actually, 2 of them.
Well, Rolling Thunder ran Friday nights, right?
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah, they've only ran Friday nights, I think. I mean, they may have had a random Saturday race. But, yeah, they've been a Friday night venue. So,
gotcha.
Going to Friday nights is not really a big deal. But, obviously, we want to get that out as early as we can, when we put those together. But got some touring series that want to come that, maybe are with, on a Saturday, or they're over at Beckley on Saturday, or they're, wherever they are. You know what I mean? So gives us an opportunity to maybe add an event here or there, and I don't believe there'll be points events. Probably throw some extra money at it when we do that, but they could be points events. I'm not 100% sure. So I mean, there's the schedule. Got a lot of potential for touring series and the monster trucks and stuff there. With that, I haven't there's some tours kind of local to the area there that I haven't really spent a lot of time talking to, because they hadn't really pushed out, to me, 4 dates. And I'm not like when these touring series talk to me, and I think I said this on the last podcast, but when they tell me, it was on our Pit Chatter podcast, me and Noah did last week. We're talking about these touring series, and they're like, well, hey, our purse is $12,000. Well, is that good or bad? I don't know. I know at Franklin County, okay, I know the X's and O's of it, okay? Right. So I knew if the thing cost $12,000, I knew about what I was going to take in at the back gate. I knew about what I could draw at the front gate. Well, here, I don't know anything.
We're on a whole new playing ground here.
I mean, I said on there, I don't know if I'm going to have 2 fans, 200 fans, or 2,000 fans. I have no idea. I mean, I don't even know how many I can fit in there. But I hope I'm going to find out exactly how many I'm going to fit in there.
I hope that we're packed in there like sardines.
Me too. Me too.
And back to the schedule. Take all of the touring or the monster trucks or whatever out, and we've got a stacked schedule.
We do.
I mean, I think we're going to have a stellar year of racing.
Yeah. And I think it's the perfect amount of races. I mean, I think that here in racing, I think there are a lot of tracks that race too much, and I think there's a few racetracks that don't race enough. And I think we're right in the middle of all that. And I may get to the end of the season and go, damn, we should have shortened this by about 3 races. Or I may get to the end and go, man, we could have run 10 more,
Man, I needed 5 more races, just 5 more.
But we won't know until we get there. And all of this is a learning curve, for us. From the track prep to how everything works, the nuances of every bit of this is new to us. So, we're rolling into it blind. I mean, I can only listen to or take advice from so many people about so many things, but I got to live it to know it.
I was just going to say, you can only listen to so many people. You're going to have to get yourself in there and get yourself going before you actually know and you actually learn what you're doing.
Yep.
I mean, you'll have an idea, but that idea is only going to take you so far.
That's right. But I think we got things lined up about where we need to be, at least to get started, and then we'll kind of go from there. So, another thing that we may have some potential races for. Had a lot of steel block guys, reaching out, and I don't know what that race will consist of. I don't know if that'll be, steel blocks only or steel blocks and, like the 525s, and maybe we'll just maybe it'll just be kind of an open race. 602, 604s, steel blocks and 525s and supers, and I don't know. I don't know, okay?
I mean, it's an interesting thought. It's a good opportunity.
I know the way the track is laid out that having a big motor does not give you a big advantage.
Absolutely not. It's way too small to have such a big motor. Is not going to take you but so far.
I totally agree, and I think that's what can make the place very interesting. So we'll see where we go with that. I mentioned the point system, and we'll talk about that. Not tonight. Another thing that I'm looking at is I don't. My experience, and I'm not downing anybody, anything, any racer, any track. I mean, there ain't a lot of passing that goes on at a lot of these dirt tracks. My experience at Ararat, typically the 2 or 3 cars that started up front are the 2 or 3 cars that won the race. Well, we got to figure out how not to have that to be the case. And I'm going to do that through incentivizing that. The point system, speaking of the points there a second ago, the point system will reward passing. And that is passing through the heats and passing through the feature, starting position to finishing position, wherever you start and then wherever you finish, that's how many points you're going to gain, or how you're going to gain points.
If you're a fan and a family that comes, you don't want to watch them run single file.
Well, nobody wants to see a ride around.
Dirt, they can ride side by side and just sling the dirt and sling,
Yep.
and that's what it should be.
Yeah.
And I do watch a lot of dirt races where it's just follow the leader, just brr. We got to make it interesting. We got to keep
100%.
people coming.
And I think points won't be enough of an incentive.
Agreed.
So I am working on some sort of bonus money for passing positions, passing the most cars. However that works, we'll see how. I've got 2 different layouts. I think I sent them to you, so you kind of know what they are. But
you did.
I got a couple different layouts of how I want to do that, and it could lead to some big money. For a racer to, not start up front. I mean, if you start on the pole and you win the race, you're gonna win the least amount of money possible to win for that night. You know what I mean? And I don't know that we're gonna do this every week. I don't know that we're gonna do it in every division every week. But we're definitely gonna, see what happens. I mean, opening night will just be opening night, and we'll figure out how that works. And I'm gonna look. Hey, where did he start? Where did he finish? Well, we need some passing here, or maybe we don't, or maybe I'll look at that and go, hey, we got all we need right here, right now.
And I think it might take us 2, 3, 4 races to figure out, okay, who's our top dogs?
Yep.
Who's the one that's...
I mean, I have an idea going in. I mean, just knowing the racers there and having seen in the past, and, you know who's who. But it's going to take a little bit to see how they're going to shake out.
Right, and at the same time, you're gonna have to see that in person, see it, watch scoring.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the other things that I'm working on that I've got to figure out how we're going to do it. I look back at the photos from Ararat, and I'm not downing anybody, but man, their victory lane sucked. I mean, man, and listen, at Franklin County, our victory lane sucked up until this past year. I mean, I put a lot of money and time and effort into making victory lane really badass this past year. And I look at other places, and all the big races have really badass. All the tours, the World of Outlaws, the Lucas Oil, all those guys, they have really badass victory lanes. You know what I mean? Well, I think it's very important that we have a badass victory lane.
Absolutely. It took us a long time to figure it out. You're just getting out of the car and getting your photo taken. Well, who would think, hey, let's put something awesome looking behind them.
Yeah.
Something that when they look back at that picture, they're like, man, that looks so good.
Yeah. And I'll tell you who did it the best last year. I thought ours were cool.
Ours was awesome.
But I'll tell you who did the most remarkable job of changing victory lane last year was Natural Bridge Speedway. I mean, they went from having basically nothing to having a cool victory lane right outside, right down below the fans, so the fans could walk down and get into the pictures. And it was lit up, and it was nice, and it was big and bold. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna figure out how we can revamp a little area maybe right there before you right outside of the track entrance exit, whatever, there, and build a really cool looking victory lane that when you take photos in it, man, you post them up on Facebook and people go, man, that's awesome, man, look at that.
And maybe build a little crossover gate to let fans or families or whatever.
Well, they kind of already have it set up to where you can there now, so you just have to.
It might take us a little bit, but we'll get it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want it to be cool. I don't want it to block any view or anything, but I think it's very important that the fans be able to access Victory Lane, and I think it's very important that Victory Lane looks good and has a cool aesthetic. I mean, I know you hate hearing this because you hate the way I like to spend money on crap, but I want to buy those pyrotechnics that they use, like the dry. gosh, there's a term for it. I don't even know what it is, but it like shoots up sparks. It's like a spark machine, with gunpowder or whatever, and it just shoots it up straight and looks cool. And,
that sounds expensive. Can't we just get some lights and make it look pretty?
That too, and confetti guns, and
now that would be cool.
Those are things that I like to add because it's important. All of these things matter. People can go do whatever they want to do, but all these things matter. And I know not every racetrack has that, and not every racetrack thinks about that, but those are things I think about.
Well, when you win the race, you've done something.
100%.
You deserve to be treated well and celebrated.
Yeah. I mean, because like I told them at the meeting, I'm not paying you the biggest purses. I promise. Some people are going to, I haven't devised the purses yet because I don't even know where to begin yet, but I know that they won't be the highest. I promise. They probably won't be the highest that's ever been paid there. I don't know that they'll be the lowest. I don't know because I don't know what they've been paid. But I can tell you that I don't pay the highest purses. But, we're going to make it look good. We're going to have a professionally operated organization. That's our goal.
You're going to have an awesome-looking trophy.
Yeah, awesome trophies. Awesome-looking victory lane. You'll be able to say you won something when you won something there. It ain't about the money. Listen, guy said one time, he was talking to, he wasn't talking to me, but he said, hey man, somebody asked him about the purse, and he said, hey man, look out there. He said, you see those haulers right there? And, it's big, nice stackers and, different huge enclosed trailers and all the things that all these people have. And he said, how much do you think I'd have to pay to make it worth them to do that? And he said, well, you can't pay them enough to make it. So I can't ever pay you enough, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that I'm going to cheat you. I'm nothing like that, but I'm saying that I can't pay you enough to matter. You're going to spend way more than I'm ever going to pay you. I don't care what you're racing. Even in the dang stock 4U cars, whatever. I can't pay you enough, so it doesn't matter.
And we'll go back to a story about it doesn't matter about the money. Like one time at Franklin County, we had a guy get disqualified or halfway disqualified. I don't really remember how it went. But he's like, man, I don't care about the money. Can I just have the trophy? Yeah. Can you just give me the trophy? You can keep the money.
Yeah. Well, we did not do that. But, yes, that is kind of, that's kind of the point. At the end of the day, the money doesn't mean anything.
They just want to feel
and to be
like
honest with you,
something.
My number one objective is figuring out how to keep enough dollars on the racetrack side to keep the racetrack gates open. That's all. That is my only concern. You know what I mean? If we're making money, then the payouts are going to continue to increase. You know what I mean? But, first and foremost, we're going to keep the gates open. So the expectations of purse, I laugh when somebody sends me a question about a purse. It just tells me that they're thinking about the wrong things because it don't matter what I tell them. I mean, I could tell them it pays $100 to win, or I could tell them it pays $10,000 to win. And honestly, at the end of the day, it don't make any difference because only one guy's going to take that home. It doesn't make any difference. But anyways, you get me. I done got myself off on a rant about payouts, and we ain't even discussed payouts yet. So I mean, I ain't even went down that rabbit hole. I haven't even done anything to do with payouts yet. I mean, I've conjured up some. I've thought about some. I've looked at some other racetracks. I've seen what they have on their website, which 3 years out of date, or I don't know what they are. You know what I mean? And I've had some people give me some examples and ideas, and I'll tell you another thing that blows my mind, and I had this conversation with a guy yesterday. He's like, man, dirt racing pays so much more than asphalt. I must have been doing it wrong at Franklin County because we paid far more than all the purses that I've seen for most of these dirt races. So,
way too much.
Yeah, well, I know how you feel there, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, I think I've ranted enough. We're about 45 minutes in, which feels like we just started.
You guys see what I'm up against? I told him right before we started this podcast, I said, we got to take it slow,
Yeah.
Take subject by subject. We ain't going to get it through everything in one podcast, and we've gone from schedule to purse to
my
cleanup
ADHD
day
brain does not allow for that
merch.
streamlined thing you want there. Hey, your merch is going to be cool, though. Have I said that?
It's going to be really cool.
Anyways, we're like I said, we're almost 45 minutes in. We gotta bounce out of here. Anything else you think about or we didn't talk about here? I mean, we got weeks worth of this. We're gonna do this every week.
No, I don't think so. I just, I'm excited about the juice box racers.
Yep.
Number one.
We've heard that.
Getting the kids. That's our next generation.
Yep.
Excited about the juice box racers. Excited about the stock fours. enduros, Crown Vics.
Yep.
You know, I really think that our schedule and divisions, I think we're on the right track.
I do too. So, anyways, that's the schedule. I'll have it posted up. I'll have all the dates at least out, tomorrow, and maybe the names. We'll start placing in divisions, and I got to figure these tours out. We're kind of behind. We got way behind start by not getting, this deal was done a month ago. And I think we've done a lot in a month. But, even losing, power for a week, we've done a lot in a month, but we've got a lot still to go and a lot of things. And, I mean, that's just back-end stuff here, in the office, working on getting ready for. It doesn't even include all the things that's got to be done at the racetrack, and we haven't even got to that point yet. So
our work is never done. When you operate a racetrack, your work is never done. You always feel like you're behind.
And we'll give you a quote out of Yellowstone.
Here we go.
This is one hell of a life, and I love it. So, you listen. People may hate me. By the time we get to racing, they may hate me. But one thing you'll never be able to say is, "Man, that guy ain't putting in 100% effort and doing all that he can." That's all. That's the only thing I'll say. You know what I mean? So, if you see me not doing 100% effort, you let me know, because that is my intention, and we're going to try to. I want to rebrand this place. I want people to think about, and they already think about it as the BullRing, but I want them to think of all the things that we're doing and all the ways that we're going to change things. And we ain't going to do everything perfect. I promise you we're going to screw up. We're going to screw up more often than racers do, okay? And that's a lot. So
that's kind of scary.
Yeah, well, it happens.
But, we've screwed up a couple times in the past, and going into this all new venture, I'm sure it's going to happen a couple more.
One last thing that I forgot to mention, likely, I may shuffle this around a little bit, but likely Saturday, April 19th will be open practice. So that is likely the date, Saturday, April 19th for open practice. That's what I'm shooting for. May happen a week earlier, may happen 2 weeks earlier, may happen all 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And I'd like to do one Friday, April 25th, but we got to get everything down pat. We got to have the place ready. We got to be in the right frame with racetrack prep. I think Gary's going to get us. Gary Nestor, the owner of the facility, is going to get us a long ways into that.
Well, if you need somebody to drive a pack car, I'm here and I'm available.
All right, I got to go so she can go dream about being a pack car driver. So, anyways, that's episode 1, the official one of the BullRing Banter Podcast. Appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate my wife coming on here to talk about pack cars. And we'll see you next week.